Hello, I am wearing a sweater and a blanket because I'm cold. So week 8 recap. There were 3 runs over the course of the week. We had 4 miles on Monday. We had 3 miles on Wednesday and then 8 miles on Saturday. The 4 miles felt great. It was off to a really, really good start. On Wednesday, Maggie and I were able to beat our previous 5K personal record, which was really exciting, but also exhausting and way harder than I thought it was going to be because I started off too slow. So I had a lot of time to make up for the last mile. And so it was really hard. We did it, but it was work. And I was actually really, really excited that work paid off, because I was exhausted. Saturday's run, not gonna lie, I was actually pretty scared of running the 8 miles. It was just kind of looming over my head, and I was pretty scared just because I've never run that far before. With the 7 miles, the furthest I had gone was 6.5, so I was running just a half mile over what I had done before. It was still kind of familiar. It was within my normal 6 miles that I've done before. It was somewhere within, I guess, the known territory. 8 miles is like, that's 2 miles over what I've done before. Oh man. And when you're doing something new, it is really scary sometimes because you don't know how it's going to go. You don't know how you're going to feel. You don't know what's going to happen because you've never done it before. And so it was definitely like, okay, you know. But I mean, with things like that, you've just gotta, if you wanna make some memories, you let it scare you and you just do it anyway. And that's what Maggie and I did. It scared me, but it's like, you know what? I'm gonna do it anyway. And it went a lot better than I thought it was gonna go. I ran the first 6 miles with Maggie, and then I dropped her off, and then I went the last 2 by myself. And Maggie does a lot to help motivate me to keep going. And I realized just how much she motivated me because those last 2 miles felt so long. They were so tiring. And I didn't realize how much she distracted me from how exhausted I was until she wasn't there. And I can feel how tired I am. I can feel the fatigue. I can hear my feet yelling at me because they hurt, and I'm just like, oh my gosh, I didn't realize how much of a distraction Maggie was from all of that. And so it just makes me appreciate her that much more. But we still did it. The last half mile of that 8-mile run was the longest half mile of my life. It felt like it was going on for an eternity. I felt like I was running in place forever, but we did it. We made it. We did it. And I'm excited. I did eat something. I had something light to eat before running the 8 miles, which isn't something I normally do. I usually run on an empty stomach, which, I've always done just because I was always afraid of getting sick. I was afraid of my stomach hurting or feeling nauseous or feeling just gross. And so I just would never eat anything before running. And then when I ran 7 miles on not this past Saturday, but the Saturday before, I hit a little bit of a wall and I was just really, really exhausted. And so this past Saturday, I tried to do a little bit of an experiment. And it's like, okay, I'm going to have a little bit of something to eat, some carbs, some protein, so I can, just to see if that would help me at all. And it actually did. When I was done with my run, when I was done with the 8 miles, I was tired. Like, don't get me wrong, I was tired. I just ran 8 miles, but I wasn't as tired as I have been in times past because I had something in my stomach. And it's just like, the more I started thinking about it, the more I realized, it's like if you're working out, you're burning calories, right? If I'm, running 8 miles, I can burn along the lines of 1,200 calories in that 8 miles. If I have absolutely nothing in my stomach, if I have nothing in my system for my body to use as energy, which is ultimately what food is. Food is potential energy that your body can use to, as it exerts itself. If I don't have anything that my body can use, I'm going to get to a point where I am limited, and I'm going to hit a wall, and I'm not going to be able to perform the way I want to. And so it's like, you don't go on a 300-mile drive with a car that's low on gas. Essentially with running, it's essentially the same thing. You don't want to push yourself to go crazy far distances when you have literally nothing in your body to help sustain you. And so it really did make a huge difference having, even though it wasn't a full on meal, mind you, it was really something light. It was like a wrap from 7-Eleven. Which shout out to 7-Eleven. I appreciate you. But it was still something that was able to help me. And when I was done, yeah, my feet hurt and my legs were tired and I was exhausted, but I didn't feel like I was going to die. I didn't feel like absolute death. That happened a little bit later as the fatigue really started to set in. But yeah, so that was something that I think I'm going to start implementing more and more, just having something really, really light to eat before running, because it really does make a huge difference. When I'm done, I don't feel as tired. I still have some energy to I'm not depleted of everything. So that was something that I've learned. And if you want to try it, try it. If you don't. It's just, my own personal opinion.